Hey guys, welcome to Knack's Corner. Today we're going to do a bookshelf tour. So without further ado, let's get into it. Here I got the book Cursed, which I'm planning on reading soon. I'm really interested in the Netflix series, so before I watch that I want to read that. Right here is my Lord of the Rings collection. It's going to be moved up here between these guys. I also got this illustrated World of Tolkien for Father's Day today. Very cool. Love my kids, my wife for making sure I got that. Everything will be moved up there eventually. And then down here we start my Stephen King. Now, the other two books from Mr. Mercedes aren't on the shelf yet, but they will be later. So far out of that, The Outsider, Mr. Mercedes, and It are the ones I've read. Loved all three of those. They were fantastic. I've also read If It Bleeds, Doctor Sleep, and Pet Sematary, all of which were very, very amazing. Very interested to get to Gerald's Game, particularly out of all these. So, yeah, there's those. I have only read the first book in Dune. I got the rest of them there so I can continue on with the series. Very excited for it. I really liked Frank Herbert's writing for the first book, so I'm really excited to see the rest. Down here is more Stephen King. I have read Carrie, The Stand, The Shining, The Green Mile, The Long Walk, and Misery. I am excited to get to Salem's Lot and Night Shift at some point this year. Over here is just a bunch of horror books. I haven't read any of these yet. I've read a few stories in the Necronomicon of the H.P. Lovecraft, but that's about it. Over here, I have read The Whisper Man, and The Chestnut Man, and Jurassic Park. I'm very excited to dig into the rest of them. These are just more horror stories that I am really looking forward to. So up here, I've got The Blade itself, which is the only book out of the first Law trilogy I've read so far. I'm going to get to the rest of them sometime soon, I hope. I've also read The Lies of Locke Lamora, but only that out of Gentlemen Bastards, and very interested to continue that story on there. I've read all the Witcher books. They are phenomenal. Highly recommend them if you want to get into some really light reading fantasy that has a really great story. Highly recommend it. American Gods, if you like puns, it's a book for you. I've also really enjoyed Who Fears Death and The Color of Magic. They were phenomenal reads. Down here we got Georgie Boy's stuff. I really enjoy his books, but I'm doing my best to avoid his newer books until I see Winds of Winter. I've got Brandon Sanderson's stuff here. I'm excited to get into Stormlight Archive. I've heard amazing things and would really like to read it, so I have the three of them ready to go. The Axeman's Jazz was phenomenal. Really loved it. It's great procedural. I'm excited to continue on with Ray Celestin's books. Down here, as you can see, The Shadow Rising is not in place because it's downstairs. It's on my what I'm reading right now sort of thing. I've read the first 3 books in Wheel Time and really enjoyed it. I only own the first 10, so I need to get the last 4 books here at some point. Down here I have Rage of Dragons, which I'm very excited to get into. These books here are going to be moving up onto the white shelf shortly. Ninth House, really interested to get to that. Six Crows and Red Rising. My wife's 2 Beauty and the Beast retellings. I got Malice there, because I'm planning on starting that in the near future. And my classics, and Dexter. Over here is my shelf that I just kind of stick a bunch of books in no particular order for any reason or anything like that. Outside the Wire is a phenomenal story of, it's true story of Canadian soldiers in Afghanistan, their incursions, stuff like that there. The Johnny Cash biography was really, really good. Really enjoyed that. And then, of course, these books here, I haven't got around to all of them yet. In this pile, I read On South Mountain, 13 Reasons Why, The Revenant, Lolita, The Curious Incident of the Nighttime with the Dog, Catcher in the Rye, Fear and Loathing, and The Road. There's Harry Potter and a few other books. My wife is a huge fan of Paulina Simmons, so we have a few of her books there. I've picked up a few other books here. This book is quite amazing. If you haven't read Beat the Reaper, I highly recommend going and checking it out. It's very entertaining, as well as Jennifer Government. Very good books. My Dark Vanessa was really, really good as well, and so was Disposable Souls. And of course, these are my other books I've got here. Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is phenomenal. I'm excited to get into the rest of that. And I love mythology and legends and stuff like that. So I have the myths and legends and Norse mythology. Both I love a lot. So going down here, I got a bunch of comic books. I am a fan of DC Comics, but I like Marvel movies. So that's my weird thing. Except for, the Batman movies that had Christian Bale in it. I really like those. Walking Dead is my favorite comics that are out for sure. That's just kind of a pile of fantasy with Dracula on top. You and Hidden Bodies. These are all books that I'm kind of met on or haven't read yet. And my father's books there I just kind of house. And a few other piles of non-fiction books and things like that over there. So that is my small bookshelf tour, and I hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you.